Greetings, happy Derby Day, everybody. This video is going to be on pace handicapping. Why is pace handicapping important, you may wonder? Because the pace of the race is going to decide the outcome. There's going to be some horses that are going to take the lead, some are going to ride right off the lead, stalk the pace, some are going to hang mid-pack, and some are going to hang all the way to the back. And that's really going to determine how the race ends up. And it's going to have a big factor in picking a trifecta, especially sometimes getting that third horse, which you got to pick to come in, which may be coming off the pace, not good enough to win, but he's good enough to get into the money off of some of the front runners that have fallen off. So without further ado, we'll get into that. Broken this down into three segments. We look at the first 4 furlongs of the race. I look at promises fulfilled, Flame Away, and Justify to be out there. I'm not sure exactly who's going to take the lead, but I expect it to be Promises Fulfilled. Now you got to watch out for Noble Indy's very last race. Noble Indy, Louisiana Derby, came out very strong, very fast. He didn't have the lead, but he ended up taking it a little after the 4 or 5 furlong mark. Very fast pace. Not usually something he's done, but if he's going to do that today, that could definitely throw off the pace of this race. So keep an eye on Noble Indy as well, coming out to be a rabbit. Now, stalking the pace, we have Mendelssohn, we have Magnum Moon. Now, both of them have taken the lead before. Not necessarily sure they're going to do such now. They'll tend to like to take the lead if it's a slower pace, but I don't think they're going to rush up to the front now. Noble Indy probably should do the same thing, but it's a jockey change. Once again, so you really don't know what to expect from Noble Indy. Now, to mile point, I expect Justify to still be ahead. If something crazy doesn't happen, you expect Justify to be up there. Mendelssohn, I expect to have made up some ground. Magnum Moon make up some ground. Right off the pace, I expect Promises Fulfilled probably has lost some gas. Flame Away, Noble Indy as well. I expect Audible and Vino Rosso to have made some moves. Good jockeys on both those horses, in Castellano and Velasquez. So expect them to make some moves, get their horses in position around the 1 mile point. Now, the final 2 furlongs of the race is in a few different ways. Now, if it's an honest pace, not too fast, not too slow, I expect Justify to be in there. Mendelssohn, Magnum Moon, Audible, and Vino Rosso. And those 5 will go for the showdown at the end. We'll find out who's going to win that. If we have a fast pace could mean a little bit different outcome. Some of those horses that run up front could get tired. Justify could get tired. I already expect some of the other ones to get tired. Promises Fulfilled and Flame Away. So Justify could fall into that trap. He could fall off. Then that would make way for Vino Rosso and Audible to move in to a winning position, along with horses like Lone Sailor, My Boy Jack. Not really considered, but in that kind of a race, these other horses might fall off. Malibu Moon, Mendelssohn may be too close to a hot pace as well. They may not be able to handle that either. Now, if it is very fast and Promises Fulfilled gets out there, Noble Indy gets out there, they could go wire to wire if they're unchallenged. It's not very likely, I think, in this race, but if you're looking for a long shot, then it's a possible strategy to play. Now, if there's a slow pace race, then I expect the stalkers to really have the advantage. Mendelssohn, Magnum Moon, Vino Rosso, Audible. Yeah, if it's a slow pace race, I don't know if he's quick enough to really make up the difference versus the other horses. And I don't think a slow pace race really favors Audible. Same thing with Justify. He's going to want to run, and if it's a slow pace race, they had to choke him up and hold him back, and he's not going to like that. He's going to become disinterested, and I don't think he'll have it near the end. Now, another one, Bolt d'Oro. I haven't really talked too much about him, but in a slow pace race, I think that might suit him. Victor Espinoza board. He usually only wins, like I said, when he's got the best horse, but this might suit him in that kind of a situation. So look at Vino Rosso, Johnny Velasquez, and there's that Noble Indy thing. He's kind of hanging in there, so he might, even in a slow pace race, he's still kind of a question mark coming out in the Louisiana Derby because the pace was so fast. He seemed to be tough and he handled it pretty well. Just don't really know how he's going to hold up against these other horses in a Grade 1 stakes. So that's all I've got here on pace handicapping the 2018 Kentucky Derby. If you like the video, like, share, subscribe. Check out some of my other videos on the breakdown of the race, some of the other horses. I'm going to have my picks coming up here shortly, so stay tuned for that one. If you hit subscribe, you'll get a notification when that pick comes through. Race is coming up in a few hours here, so get ready, and everybody remember, bet responsibly.